Finally going live for the first time on YouTube. So I want to thank you guys for watching, for being here. This is Abong Eka. I am the founder of Economics, EKA-NOMICS. I'm also a certified public accountant, certified professional business coach and leadership coach. And what we do with our companies is we help entrepreneurs, as well as existing businesses, sometimes even bigger, to motivate, encourage, and empower their employees, their leadership, and their leadership teams, as well as provide them with the tools through our branded content to train them in a variety of areas that are important for their businesses. So the only thing I want to talk to you guys today about is the importance, these two major things that successful people always do, that a lot of the people who aren't successful, I don't mean money success, just in general. That could be success with money, that could be success with relationships, that could be success in anything that they do. And the reason why most regular people struggle to live any kind of life of productivity, any life of passion and purpose, and so many people miss out on these important things. And if you're watching this, do me a huge favor and share this out. Share this stream out to your friends and followers, and also put a comment below if this serves you well. I'm going to start doing a lot more YouTube lives as well as Facebook and Periscope lives. But what I wanted to do first is give you my 2 pointers, share this with you guys on YouTube, and then eventually start doing videos based on questions that I get. I get a lot of questions from people from all over the world who are watching my videos. And so the 2 major things I want to share with you is the importance of having clarity and certainty. And I'm going to jump in the car because it's starting to get a little hot here. But a lot of people struggle. A lot of people struggle in life because they're not clear with what they're doing. They're not clear with where they're going. They're not clear with what they want. Like their goals aren't even clear. The kind of crap that comes out of people's mouths when they say, I want to make $1 million. That's an arbitrary number that someone just gave them. They didn't come up with that themselves. I want to make 6 figures. What does that mean? How vague are you? Why are you so vague? And so part of the problem that a lot of people have is that they're not clear in their goals. When you're not clear where you're going, then the steps that that require to take you there aren't going to be clear either. So if you're saying you want to make $1 million and $1 million is the number you just made up, there's no way you'll know what the vehicle that you need to be in. There's no way you'll know how you'll get there, what you have to sell, what you have to acquire, the skills you need, all these things that are important that a lot of people miss out on. When somebody says, I want to get married, they don't even know what they want for themselves, yet they're talking about marriage to somebody else. And then they'll try and figure it out after they meet that person. But you don't even know who the hell that person's going to be because you haven't identified. There's no clarity in what you want. There's no clarity in who you are. And so many people struggle because of that. The second piece is important. It's certainty. And I'm going to share with you some personal examples of how this really plays a role. So we talked about clarity first. The next is certainty. Now, what I mean by certainty, when you're not certain in something that you want to do or what you're trying to do, there's absolutely no way you'll actually move in a straight line. You know how I know this? There's 2 examples of this, and I'll give you my personal example after that. The first is, say you're driving somewhere and your Waze or your Google Maps kind of messes up and you start asking people for directions. Well, everybody's telling you different things from their perspective, right? Even if it's somebody who lived there, they know how to get to that particular place you're going to, but in many cases, they're giving you other ways that you're not comfortable or familiar with. So what ends up happening? You drive slower. What ends up happening? You start parking and looking around and asking other people. What ends up happening after that? You start going in circles. You're driving in other directions because you don't feel comfortable with the direction that somebody else gave you. Why? Because you lacked certainty in where you were going. You lacked the idea that where you were going was the correct route and what you should have done, right? And because of that, you don't move with a sense of urgency and a sense of purpose. You end up driving slow as hell. You end up cutting people off. You see people who in traffic, they're on their phones. They're getting distracted easily. So when you're not certain, other people, now let's bring this back home. If you have an idea for a business and you're trying to grow it, you're asking everybody for their advice. And people who have nothing to lose are giving you advice on things that they know nothing about. And then they end up distracting you. They tell you things that you don't know, right? A lot of the things that I've done in my life that have been successful have always come when I was certain about what I was doing. Even if it didn't work out, I was certain that it was a good idea. And then that's just so much that. So I don't want people to think you have to be hard-headed. I mean, you have to have certainty in the steps you take. If there's any trepidation in any movement you make, even if it's an incorrect one after the fact, the chances are you'll get there quicker and then you'll end up finding out that it was a mistake later on. The problem with so many people is they drag their feet because they lack certainty. If you know the road to someone's house, you're not going to take a roundabout way to get there. You're gonna go there directly with purpose. Would you agree with that? And if you're going to go directly with purpose, then there's absolutely no reason for you to waste time. So when somebody wastes time, it's because they don't have certainty. Now let's add this to, say, a business owner trying to make a sale. When the person you're speaking to, who you're trying to sell some content or whatever you sell, whatever wares you sell to somebody, when they're dragging their feet and they want to add time to the equation, it's because they lack certainty. It's almost rarely anything to do with the money. They say they don't have the budget, but look, most people have overpaid for things in their lives. They've paid more for things than it probably should have. And in many cases, they didn't complain about that because at the time they thought it was worth it. And if that's the case, you have to understand something simple, a very simple principle, the importance of having certainty. So for me, I have to be certain in what I'm doing, even if it may be wrong at the time. Obviously, if I know better, I won't do it. But if I believe it's a good idea, if I believe the steps I should be taking are being taken, then I have to be certain in that. And it takes a very strong person to be able to cut out the noise from outside people who have no skin in the game, no money in the equation, right? No experience. They're just telling you how they feel. And people who follow how they feel and follow their feelings and are driven by their emotions very rarely end up living an amazing, successful life in the long term. Again, don't make the mistake and think I'm just talking about money. I'm talking about everything else. So you have to be certain in what you're doing. Animals want certainty. Humans want certainty. Leadership, people who are considered leaders, provide certainty to others, right? So animals want to find an alpha, especially pack animals, even non-pack animals. We are not, as human beings, built to be doing things by ourselves. And so the person or the organism or the animal that can show certainty to people increases the likelihood of you being able to influence others, right? At some point in time, when you're certain about something, people will start following you because you know what you're talking about, and they've lacked their certainty. So the two things, again, I want to share with you that's really important is getting clarity in what you're doing, right? Knowing the who's, the what, the where's, and the why's, and all that stuff. And then the second piece is really important after you have clarity is having certainty in what you're doing. And so applying this to business, this is what we do for business owners and entrepreneurs. We show them clarity in finding out and determining their product and service, who their market is, their clarity in their pricing, clarity in delivery of their products and service, and clarity in how to find that actual customer and client by creating a process that works for them, right? That's what clarity is. Now, certainty is once you've identified clarity, the steps become a lot more clear, and it becomes easier to be certain in what you're doing. Plain and simple. Those are the things that are important for what successful people do. And those are the things that unsuccessful people don't do. And that's the reason why they struggle a lot of times, because they don't do the things they're supposed to be doing when they're supposed to be doing it. And then they wonder why what they want is not working, what they're trying to go after is not working, and they wonder why they never get the life they want, live the life that they deserve, live the life that they desire. Don't be them. You deserve a lot more and you deserve a lot better. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Do me a favor, if you liked what I had to say, please comment, like, share, and subscribe below. I really would appreciate it. And those who are watching this video, I appreciate you as crazy. As crazy as possible. This is great info. Oh, cool. Thank you so much, Trisha Love. Thanks for being on here, Trisha Love. You are awesome. I appreciate you. The main thing is this: you get clarity and you get certainty in your life and in your business, everything starts to come together. I promise you that. The things that we do in our coaching and training programs is helping people get clarity. So here's an example. Someone who was recently in our Economics Academy. It's called Economics Academy, EKANOMICS Academy.com/webinar. You can go get a free webinar training to 30 minutes to learn about what I'm talking about and how we get clarity in 4 areas. So here's the thing. There was somebody who thought that what her business was creating WordPress sites for people. So she went through the academy, and throughout the academy, she ended up realizing, based on identifying who her customers were, her skill set, and her interest level, she was able to understand that it wasn't just creating WordPress sites. It was mainly creating content for what they do. So the people she was working with, they didn't necessarily value the WordPress site because they can go get that for free somewhere else, and they didn't have the value in that. The value they had was in the content that was created that led to them getting more customers and more clients, and the copywriting that was there. So that's what they really cared about. So once you was able to identify that, you can easily raise your prices. You can easily create a process or a system to deliver the services. You can easily identify where to find these people to work with them. That's kind of how it works. And so too few people have clarity. They think they know what they're looking for, but they haven't looked at the tools or looked at they haven't looked at the signs that allows their decision to be a lot more clear. But once you have clarity, certainty almost always follows. Once you know what you should be doing, you end up doing it, right? And too often people just don't think about the importance of having clarity. When you're clear, right, certainty always follows suit. If you know how to get home, you're not going to go the roundabout way. You're going to go to the most direct, straightest route there. It's the same thing in business. It's the same thing in relationships. It's the same thing with life, with money, you name it. The way you see yourself, everything's the same. And you can see when people dress a certain way and they look crazy, like considered crazy, out of the norm, right? They're wearing like a funky clothing or whatever, and they're so certain in it. At some point in time, people slowly go from ridicule to worship. They go from ridicule to admiration. They go from ridicule to, how's that guy doing it? Why does that guy look so, why is he wearing that? If you see a guy who's famous, he's wearing a yellow suit, looks like a banana, looks like Big Bird, and people make fun of him, but he's confident in what he's wearing or what he's wearing at that time. At some point in time, people will stop with the ridicule and start wondering, what about him? Why is he different? Why is he out of the norm? Once that has happened, that's when certainty comes. That's the guy people start pointing to. That's the guy people start going to for leadership. That's the guy people start going to for information and guidance and understanding and all that, and guardians, all that stuff. And that's a thing that people have to understand. They don't understand that. They quit before they get to the part of worship. And that's the reason why a lot of times people become unsuccessful, because they lack the certainty in what they're doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for your kind words in the comments. Those who are around, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Always give me, if there's something you want me to talk about, please put it in the comments. I will definitely read it, and I'll do another YouTube live at some point, also YouTube videos, and share that with you guys as well. You guys have been great. Thank you so much. You want to learn more about me? Economics, EKANOMICS.com. You want to learn more about Economics Academy? That is EKANOMICS academy.com/webinar, and you'll be able to see one of our live trainings that I pulled away from some of our paid trainings. This is free. All you have to do is just sign up, and you can watch it. You can watch it on there, and I explain 30-minute process of clients, getting more clients and customers using clarity. So clarity and certainty, and that's kind of the tool. That's what we do. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have an amazing day.